Hey, how's it going, guys? Yaniv here, and today we're joined with Tomer. He's one of my first students, one of the first people who I started my mentorship program with before I even had a program or a course or anything like that. And today, basically, what I want to do is just talk to you a little bit about his story, talk with him about, some tips and tricks and some advice on this whole journey. I think Tomer is now well over seven figures with his Amazon business in just a couple of years here. So, Tomer, why don't you introduce yourself? I know we had you on the channel before, but for those people who don't know you.
Yeah, so thank you for having me here. It's pleasure to talk with you like always. Like you said, I joined your kind of mentorship. You mentored me before you even had the course. So yeah, there is a video with my progress in your channel where you interviewed me that we share more details. So it's nice to maybe see that video first and then come to this video to see the progress, because there is a big progress here. I think it was like a year ago, and yeah, I just started like this journey 2 years ago. I failed with the first product. Brief, I'll tell about the history and about what happened, since I started. But I just sourced one product at the beginning without taking any course, without really knowing kind of what I'm doing. And obviously, when you do something not in a professional way, or you're not really taking it that seriously, especially when Amazon now it's a little more competitive than like 3 or 4 years, where it was much easier from what I heard from people. So it was, failing, and I was just, discouraged from doing it again, and like didn't do, just took the stock back and tried to sell it on eBay. Didn't really work well. And then I stumbled upon your channel. I remember it was like one Friday, and I was like seeing the video. I don't even remember what it was about, but something really caught my eye, and I said like I have to really watch more videos from that guy. And I was like watching more and more and more. And then I don't know, I found you on Facebook, and we started to chat. And I told you you have to explain me and teach me how you do it. I'm like I failed and told you about the history of my product and what happened. And I do have background in e-commerce, so for me it was like natural to do these things, but still it was a little like scaring to do something again, and maybe losing more money or risking it. And people told me, why you have to risk yourself? But I knew, and I saw your videos and some other people that people making their money. You kind of need to know how to spot when there is opportunity or not. And to me, it's really the best thing that I did in my life. It changed my life, really. I All my life I believed in myself, and I had a really great job, which I left. Like I was partner in a e-commerce business that did like good numbers. So I had something good in my hands, but I knew that it's not something that I would like to do for my entire life. So I continued with your guidance and help. I was like uh, bothering you like all day on Facebook, like, what is this? Is that a good product, or this good product? No, kind of like brainstorming and asking you questions. And I launched my first product after like I think 2 months of product research, and like with your help, which was a big success. And since then I just launched more and more products, like 30 products. Now I have a second brand. So the first year I did around like 350K in revenue. This year going to be like 1.5 million. And the second brand, the first month I just launched 4 SKUs, and it's like 30K. So with people that thinking, no, maybe it's too saturated, or maybe there is no enough room for new sellers, or it's too competitive. No, I just launched new brand, new seller account, and it's doing 30K the first month. Yeah, I know already what I'm doing, so it's easier. But that's just to show what is possible. It's not too saturated. Actually, there are too many like buyers right now, but not enough sellers. So there is like a lot of room for new sellers to come and join. So yeah, it really changed my life.
Yeah, that's honestly crazy because the last time we made the video together was literally like a year ago, and I think you had just hit like I think it was like 10,000 or 11,000 something like that per month when we were talking, and something
Yeah,
along those
yeah.
lines. And then since then, I don't know, now you're making like what was it like? What's your year to date revenue?
The year to date, it's like 1.3, 1.4. I think that by the end of the year, it's going to like probably gonna be 1.5 million or even more, depends on the holiday season. This holiday season, it's crazy. Obviously, where it means this pandemic and things are crazy, and I don't have enough stock. Amazon have a lot of restrictions right now. My garage is like 2-car garage full of like inventory, and basically I'm doing it because of the restrictions of Amazon. Instead of holding all the stock in China, I'm bringing it here, and when they allow me to ship more, I'm just shipping like right away, because domestic it's faster. But I wish I had more stock. I would do like way more money than what I'm doing right now. But it's all good. No complaints. It is what it is for me and for everyone else in Amazon. But things are really good this year because of the more demand. Many people shop from their home.
Yeah, for sure. And that's also like a good point is to mention is that a lot of people, they see these, Amazon restrictions and stuff like that are coming out for new products, and how everything is getting a little bit more difficult with what's going on. And a lot of people, just give up, right? But or just say, you know what, there's already a lot of competition on there. There's already, so many rules and things that you got to follow. And now all of this stuff. And obviously, like I always say, it's about perseverance. And I think that was one of the things I would always talk to you about, is like making sure that you just keep going, right? Just keep pushing forward, and then eventually everything will work out. Now, one question I have for you.
I remember that.
Yeah, you remember, right? That's like one of my biggest things. It's like you can never fail if you never stop trying.
Yeah.
My question for you though is, and I think a lot of people, when they hear, big numbers like this, 1 million, 1.5 billion, the first thing that comes to mind is okay, that's all, that's revenue, right? So what would you say is your profit margin, and it's maybe a profit margin that somebody can expect once they really are either getting started with Amazon, and then, as they scale up?
Yeah. So obviously, in most of the accounts we do like 20 to 30%. It really depends how quick you scale. In my situation, I'm scaling, as you can see, like very fast. So I launch a lot of new products. When you launch a lot of new products, they are not profitable from day one. So it's really like, affecting your numbers. So I would say I have like good solid 15 to 20%, which is amazing too. But if I'm going to change it to like a profit mode, I can get to 35, 40%, which is high. But I'm trying to really grow it to something really massive, like 8 figures. I'm always pushing myself and striving to be better and bigger and really be the best. Now, you hear these numbers and it might look like, oh yeah, it's Amazon, it's perfect, it's easy, you can just launch products, and it's not that easy. It's simple though, and it's definitely possible. But you need to, with all the mentorship that you gave me, if I wasn't ready, if I wouldn't do the job, it would just not gonna work. People sometimes confuse and think that things would come to them just like that. You have to work for it. No one cares like if you try hard or you want hard. Bottom line is what you are really willing to sacrifice, because you will need to make sacrifice. In the previous video, I told you that I was waking up at 4 a.m. because I had the other job, working until 7, and then just going to my other job. So like a couple of months ago, I left that business, so I can only focus on Amazon. And I'm still waking up early. I wake up at 4:30, 5, 4, depends what the situation. But I still understand the value of it. I'm still working very hard and understand that unless I'm gonna really focus and put the work, nothing would just come to me that's like that. So yeah, you need to write the guidance, which you were there for me. And I'm sure now I can also teach you some things. But
I'm positive that yeah.
that's the beauty of things, that you can learn from everyone. And
Right.
But in general, you have to also be ready to really put the work and listen and try to learn and understand that you might have failures and you might have hard times. You just, like you said, you just keep going and keep pushing yourself, and good things will happen. Even if you don't see it now, try. For me, what worked is that I thought to myself, I'm gonna put 1 year of work, no matter what the results are. I'm gonna put 1 year, but know that I put the work. And then if after 1 year I'm not gonna see the result that I was expecting or setting myself, then I could quit. But I don't want to quit like 2 months after I started the journey, thinking that it doesn't work. I'm gonna give it like the right chance and opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the first things I realized with you, And when, you know, like when I'm mentoring people and like I'm working with them like directly, you start to like learn and meet people. And then also you start to realize the people who are being really successful, what are certain traits and characteristics that they have, and kind of what are their, I mean, I guess, what are their traits and characteristics? Like, what are you willing to do to achieve, you know, what you want? How much are you listening to the advice that's being given to you? And are you
Yeah,
just kind of like, how badly do you want it? So these are all
exactly.
traits that you realize with successful people, successful entrepreneurs. And I really like the thing that you said. Take 1 year. If this is something you really want to do, take 1 year and put in the work, like put in real work behind it, and see, hey, okay, is this going to work for me, or if not, and then you can decide whatever you want to do. But really, but at least, you know, at least give it a shot, because the last
Yeah,
thing you
and you
want to
don't
do.
have to quit your job. You don't have to put 8 hours a day. I was putting 3 hours a day and was getting like 10,000 profit a month at the end. So that's definitely possible, and you should do it. And like I said, once you're like successful and you see success in your life, it's very easy to spot those people. So now when I sell on Amazon, people look at me, oh, that's what you do. So people want to learn, and I'm really, you know, open to teach anyone that really want to learn this. Um, and you spot those people. You see like people, oh, I want, but they're just saying. They're not really like, their
Yeah,
intent is not really to put the hard work. They're just talking. So if you're in that mode, understand nothing will work for you. You have to change your mindset. You need to understand that you're all in and you're gonna do it and you're gonna make it successful, and you're gonna do whatever it takes. So,
yeah,
you know,
100% agree. Let me ask you a question about the way you're, I guess, you know, scaling that, right? I know when I was first getting started, I'm sure when you were first getting started, and you know, people watching, you know, right now, when you're looking to launch a product, you know, let's say you're looking to do your first product or your third product or whatever, it's scary. Like it's scary to put the money behind the product to go ahead and invest and launch that product. So is that something you
yeah.
still feel with your business, or has that kind of gone away? And you know, I guess, what do you think about like people who are a little bit scared to get that first product or that second, third product, and you know, keep investing?
Yeah, very good question. So with the first product, I always like recommend that you start small. You start small because at your first product, you'll do so many mistakes and everything will be new to you. So let's say like creating a shipping plan, doing the sourcing, talking with suppliers, everything is new. So most likely you'll do some mistakes. So if you go small and you fail or you're kind of break even, at least like you didn't risk much. But if you go at your first order and you like start ordering 3,000 units and the first product cost of goods, it's like $20 per unit, you're in a bigger risk. And it's all about risk. You always should ask yourself, okay, what happened if it doesn't work? And there is a chance that it's not going to work. And to your second question, like when I launch new products, yeah, I still have that feeling. And I'll be honest with you, not all the products I launch these days are like successful. I have like 60-70% success rate. So for every 10 products I launch, I have like 6-7 that I keep, you know, reordering, and 3 I just see the numbers don't match or just require too much work and I let it go. And that's fine. I'm okay with it because the 6 items that are winners that compensate for even 20 failures. So that's how I look
Yeah.
at it. I look at it from a risk point of view, calculated risk that you take.
That's actually an amazing like point that you said, is that, you know, if the products aren't doing well, you let it go. But a lot of the times, and this is something I realize, you know, all the time talking to people, is that sometimes your first product is even though everything looked good, is going to be one of those, you know, 4 products that's not going to work, right? And I see
Higher
that a
chance
lot
at
of
your first
people.
one.
Exactly, right? Higher chance, even if you have a program and a mentor and everything, it's possible, very possible, that, you know, you will do things wrong, and they will, you know, they won't work. But one thing that I always notice, that people try to hold on to that product as much as they can. They continue to dump PPC into it, get new pictures, like keep just like wasting more money and putting more bad money after, you know, good money, and it just turns out horribly. So that's, I guess, one of the biggest things that I also notice. What are some like characteristics, like when do you move on to a
Yeah.
different product, when you realize, hey, this is enough of that?
Yeah. So you well said. Like I actually now, I told you before, but I started a YouTube channel where I teach people too. And since I started, like kind of coach a couple of people, and I saw this too. I saw people just, choose the wrong item, and they just keep bleeding like money on PPC with an item that with like 300% A cost, and they just let it go. They're not on top of things, and they get emotion attached to the item, and you just look at it from numbers point of view. So what I look at before and I still have that issue on a daily basis. I look an item and I still have the doubt, is that too early to let it go, or I gave everything that I should really do in a product before I decide to just, you know, just stock out, or even in some cases, you know, it's not really selling well, just liquidate it or destroy it, whatever. So what I came up with is like a formula. You should come and ask yourself, did you try to optimize the listing again? Did you try to change photos? Did you try to change PPC, like adjust PPC? Try to lower price? You have to really come up with all like a checklist of things that you should do before you decide to let it go or not. And if it doesn't work, just let it go. Look at it like from like with this like straight, you know, with numbers, data. Don't just get emotions involved, you know.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point, because like I said, a lot of people get emotional with their products, and yeah, try to look at it, you know, more objectively, I guess.
Exactly,
Awesome.
exactly. And you know, like in life, it's all about the mindset. When you get emotional in business, I think that's when you start to make mistakes. And I think a good trait that I have is that I can get out of it, like for the emotions, and just look at the numbers and analyze where I am, where I'm standing, and get decisions based on data and based on like the real situation, and not like what I think, you know. Whether it's like tests that I do when I get the decisions, I look at numbers. That's why I try to optimize my listing. So, and I see it all the time. I see people put a main picture and then they think, oh, why it's better? Oh, it just look better in my. But that's your opinion. You have to really back it up by data. You have Pickfood to do split testing. You have Splitly. You have many things. Like I'm not gonna get into details, but you have to get decisions based on data, based on everything, the whole picture, and you will have some points that are missing. It's okay, but you need to really have confidence based on the numbers and not just emotions.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree 100%. Let me ask you this. So one question I have written down here was, what would you say is what was your biggest, I guess, key to success? What do you think, like you did, like not talking about mentorship or anything like that, something that you did, like that was yours, that you think was your like biggest key that got you to where you are?
Yeah, okay, so definitely focus. Number one is focus. And I think I was lucky, actually. Maybe some people will look at it not as like a luck, that I have only 3 hours a day. Okay, that really forced me to be super focused and to prioritize my things. Because to be honest, you don't need more than 3 hours to operate the FBA business. That's the beauty in that model. Amazon do the shipping, Amazon handle the customer service. You don't have to take care of like warehousing and all this stuff. So that's free you up to work on the things that matter: product research and inventory management and listing. I still to this day do my own listings from your guidance. Actually, I remember watching one of your videos. You showed me how to do it, and since then I'm doing it. I'm getting better results than like professional copyrights. And I think that's because the attention that you give to the listing, because it's yours. You just want to do it the best. And obviously you need to follow some principles and know what you're doing. But I'm not a native speaker English, and I come up with copy that it's better than, you know, professional copyrights when I compare the conversions. And focus really took me to where I am, because you know you have so many distractions, so many things in life, or even in Amazon that you could do. Some people focus on many chatbots, sequences, email marketing, things that not the fundamentals. And when you're focused, you really focus on the fundamentals, the things that will change the bottom line. So I figured that the bottom line in my business is definitely like sourcing new products, managing inventory, and PPC. So maybe copy, like, you know, listing optimization. These are 4 areas, 4 categories in my business that I'm still doing. Everything else is outsourced, or I just leave for later. So at the beginning, I left for later. Once the business grew up, I was, you know, hiring like a VA that was doing the stuff that not that important. They're important, but not important, like don't worth my time to really deal with it. So definitely focus and to prioritize what you're working on. Start first with the most important task of your day. Make sure that the day before you know what you're doing. Be like organization too. Like if you're not organized, if you're not on top of things, just let things go, like PPC running and you don't know what's going on. I see this all the time. People have campaigns. Oh, it spent $200 yesterday. Like how come? like, you know what, they check it after a week, they see it spent $1,000. How come that you leave it to a week without looking at it, you know? So definitely focus and being organized, being like, know exactly what you're doing every day.
Yeah, and I think that you put a really good point there too, is that with the focus, it's like a lot of people do talk about always, they always are shiny objects. They're looking at, oh, someone says ManyChat is the best way to do this. Someone else says you got to do this thing and that thing, and there's always so many things to look around, split testing, blah, blah. But if you're focusing on the few things that matter, like what you said, I think that's actually a very good tip there. Now,
Yeah.
I guess lastly, what I want to ask you, and we'll leave it on this. What do you think would be, if you were talking either to yourself when you were first starting off, or if you're talking to someone who's starting off right now, what would be your biggest advice to someone in that position who's maybe just watching this video, like you stumbled up on that? What would you tell them?
Yeah. So I think that it's commitment. Like I said it before, like commit to 1 year and have clarity on what you want. Don't just say to yourself, I'm gonna give it 1 year, I'm gonna try it. Have goal in mind and know exactly where you want to be. Have a vision, because when you have a clarity, that will give you also the focus to really know what you're doing. So I don't see if you see. Let me just turn my camera, but I have like a vision board there, right? So on my vision board, I just set a new goal for this year. My goal was to make 120K profit every month. Okay, so from 10 in the first year to 120K a month profit. That's my goal. I'm not sure I'm gonna hit it. 2 years I hit my goals. The first one to make 10,000, the second one to make 50K a month profit. I was also making it. It's hard. It's not that easy, but I was able to do it because of focus and because I had the clarity. And when you have that goal written and you review it and you look at it every day, that's put you in like with this laser target, like way of looking at things, and then it will help you achieve your goal. So first, decide on what you do. If you're not sure what you want in life, it's not gonna work. Especially now, it's becoming more and more competitive. Second, set a goal, and third, just like have that focus and understand that you have to sacrifice. Let's say you like to play with, like, go out with your friends every day from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Understand that, leave it aside, sacrifice this. Don't be with your friends 3 hours. Just work on your Amazon business. You want it that bad, or you want to play with your friends? What's gonna give you? I always tell people that watch TV like 3-4 hours Netflix, what's gonna give you? You make this producer who makes this TV show richer, not you. You're just consuming, and it's burning your brain, kind of. So really, like, focus on the right things in life, not on, like, sorry, but BS, like watching Netflix, playing TV games, and doing things that are not gonna help you in life.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously there's the balance, but I totally get what you're saying. If you're coming from somewhere where, listen, you want to change something in your life, well, then you got to do things that might make you a little bit uncomfortable, and you got to sacrifice some things that you might not want to. I know that literally, I think every single person who's seen any level of success has had to sacrifice, and I think that's actually a really good point as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, Tomer, thank you so much for coming onto the channel. If you guys want to see more about Tomer, head over to his YouTube channel. Tomer, what's the YouTube channel?
So it's called Sourcing Monster. And actually, there is a video that might give you a motivation on how I became and how you can become a 7-figure. So for those of you that just starting, maybe like, it's not the best video, but it will give you an idea on what is possible. And it's less than 2 years. And yeah, thank you, Yaniv. I'm always telling you, I'm always going to be grateful to what I learned from you. Maybe at this point, I already have like different mentors that are doing like hard numbers. I had
for sure
get to a different level, but
that's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal, right? I want every single person who's coming through the programs to, I don't want to get you, I can help you get to a certain level, but it's always, you want to get like, it's like a birds, you raise the birds and you let them fly away, and that's
Exactly.
kind of that's what I want the program to be. And that's what I want to be able to help people. So it's awesome to see you, absolutely crushing it. But yeah, guys, if you want to see more about Tomer, I'll leave a link in the description to his YouTube channel. Go check out that video. He's an awesome guy. And obviously, you can learn a lot from him as well. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.